the Illinois Fighting Illini have beaten 3 undefeated teams in a row. Number 5 Nebraska, number 4 Purdue, and now number 3 Wisconsin go down. Illinois has gone through one of the toughest divisions in college football, and they now sit atop the Big Ten West. Illinois is 1 win away from going to the Big Ten championship game in Season 3. Welcome back to the Illinois Fighting Illini Dynasty. We are here from Memorial Stadium in Champaign as the number 7 ranked Illinois Fighting Illini face off against their rivals, the Northwestern Wildcats. It is senior day, and more importantly, Illinois needs to win this game and they clinch the Big Ten West Division and will be heading to the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis next week if they can win this game, and they will face either Penn State or Michigan. Prolific offense is not quite the headline that I would give to this graphic, as both these teams like to run the ball a lot but have struggled on the season in the passing game. Lawrence Carter, Daniel Wilson, and Marvin Pugh highlight another batch of highly touted recruits that will be visiting Illinois this afternoon. So it'll be the Illini's last chance to make a good impression on these recruits here in 2023. Illinois wins the toss and elects to defer to the second half, so Reggie Mathis will send us underway here. It's a beautiful sunny afternoon here in Champaign, and Scott Sloan, the first-year head coach of Northwestern, hasn't had the brightest of seasons as Northwestern comes into this game with a 2-8 record on the year, and they will look to hit a home run this afternoon against their rivals in Champaign here as Gordon gets the reception on the first play of the game from Marcus Daniels. And this Northwestern team has really struggled in the passing game, particularly Marcus Daniels, who put on a clinic last year against Illinois, will look to put on another good game against these Illini as that ball goes to Evan Hull, and Evan Hull gets a first down. So Northwestern quickly is moving the ball across midfield here to open the game. Play action here, and Daniels is going to get laid out by Moses Okpala. That's a way to get going on defense, and Moses Okpala, the senior, makes a huge play. It's 3rd down and 12 now as this defense looks to get off the field here. Daniels is going to loft that ball to the right side, and he's got Harper. Harper's getting behind the defense, and he's tackled from behind by Beason. Wow. Beason with a touchdown-saving tackle, as it looked like Tyler Strain, who was in the game there, overcut that ball, and Harper got behind the defense here, and now Northwestern has it 1st and goal at the 2. It's going to be a read option, and Daniels will keep it, and Daniels is fighting, and he's going to stumble down after a 1-yard gain. So now Northwestern moves 1 yard closer. 2nd down and goal. They're going to give it to Porter, and Porter breaks off a tackle but is stuffed again. That goes for no gain. Can Illinois get a quick goal line stand here? Northwestern into the goal line formation. They give it to Young, the fullback, and he crosses the plane. Touchdown, Northwestern. And what a statement from the Wildcats. On the opening drive, Northwestern marches down the field, and they put 7 points on the board here and quiet this crowd that is very eager to see their Illini clinch the Big Ten West for the first time in program history and go to the Big Ten championship game. Michigan, who I mentioned earlier, needs to win against Ohio State and also needs Penn State to lose to go to the Big Ten championship game. They're out to a 7-0 lead. Iowa and Nebraska playing there. That game doesn't really have as much importance, but Washington and Washington State. Washington has clinched the Pac-12 North, and they're going to the Pac-12 championship game, and they're important because Washington could be a team that Illinois could face if both of those schools were to win their respective conferences. So we'll see what happens there. Kyron Cumbie is going down the sideline here on this kickoff return. And Cumbie with the speed. He is gone. Kyron Cumbie to the house once again. Way to bring the energy back into the stadium, Kyron Cumbie. 2 kickoff return touchdowns in back-to-back games for Cumbie. And the senior Illini receiver puts on a show once again in special teams, as he's done his entire career here. And that's what we love to see. Kyron Cumbie immediately ties this game, and now Northwestern will put the offense back out on the field. Daniels will pitch it out to Hull once again, and Hull has got another big hole down the right side of the field. And he's got another 19-yard gain. That's 2 big rushing plays for Hull. And we'll see how Northwestern does responding to that kickoff return. Hull will get the ball once again here on 2nd down and 10. That goes for 4, and now it's 3rd down and 6. Northwestern once again at midfield here. Daniels is going to look to throw. And he steps up and he fires quickly to Porter, but Shamon Cooper was blanketed over him. And he's going to be well short of the sticks, so Northwestern here is going to punt the ball away. Cumbie lets that one go, and it trickles into the end zone for a touchback, so the defense gets a stop. And now this is the first time we get to see the Illini offense take the field this afternoon. Deuce Spann here on 2nd down and 7 will hand it off to Hayden. And Hayden, the senior running back, looking to put on another big performance here in his final game at Memorial Stadium, will pick up 3 yards. 3rd down and 4 now. Spann making a couple changes at the line. He's looking to throw. And Spann backing up, fires to Cumbie over the middle. And Cumbie is wrapped up. And he's going to be about 1 yard short of the sticks. And Illinois is going to go for it here. Illinois quickly rushes the offense to the line. They're in the I formation. And Spann keeps it himself. And he easily picks up the 1st down. 6 yards for Spann. And he has been Mr. Reliable on the ground for sure. And Illinois moves the chains here early on. Hayden will get the handoff here on 1st down, and he stumbles, picks himself back up, and gets 8 yards. Chase Hayden fighting and clawing as he's done all season long. And now 3rd down and 2, we jump ahead of play. They're going to give it to him once again, and Hayden will pick up some nice blocks and go upfield for 7 yards. 2nd down and 7 now as Illinois will look to take the lead for the first time today, and Spann trips on the read option, and I don't know if Gallagher got a piece of him or not, but it looked like Spann had a lot of running room ahead of him if he hadn't tripped, and that's a tough break for Illinois. So now it's 3rd down and 9. We'll see how Illinois plays this here. It could be 4-down territory. First quarter's coming to a close, and Spann is looking to throw. He's going to roll out to his right, and there's nobody across the middle of the field for Northwestern. Spann takes a huge chunk of those yards, and that's an easy 1st down, and now Illinois is in field goal range. How about that? Nice running from Deuce Spann, and now Illinois is quickly inside the 30. Spann will look to throw once again here, and he's going to bail out to his right, and he's got some more room down the sideline, and he scampers out of bounds. 9 yards on the ground for Spann. Nicely done from the Illini quarterback. 3rd down and 1 now. I formation. They're going to give it to Hayden. And Hayden is going to be stuffed just short of the 1st down line. And Illinois, sure enough, is going to go for it once again. They already converted on the 4th down and 1 earlier on this drive. They're going to give it to Hayden. And Hayden cuts up the middle of the field, and he easily picks it up. 2 for 2 on 4th down conversions for Illinois on this drive. And they're running the ball all over this Northwestern defense. 2nd down and 6 now as we jump ahead of play. Illinois got the ball at the 9-yard line. It's not quite a goal-to-go situation here. Spann looking to throw, and he looks to his left. And Spann going down the sideline is going to toss it to Hayden over the middle. And Hayden gets the 1st down. He's short of the goal line, and I don't know what happened there, but it worked out. Anyhow, it's going to be 1st down and goal now from the 1-yard line. Illinois looking to punch this one in here. And Spann is going to look to pitch it out, and the ball comes loose, and it's recovered by Northwestern. Unbelievable. Oh, a terrible mistake at the 1-yard line, and Illinois turns it over. That's one that Spann wishes he had back there. And now Northwestern gets the ball back here. Illinois squanders a chance at the goal line. Northwestern gives it to Cam Porter, and Porter will go for no gain. The defense will look to pick up the offense as they've done all season long here. And Illinois can't afford to mess around here with this Northwestern ball club. There's a lot of stakes on the line this afternoon. Daniels here on 3rd and 8 is going to fire into double coverage, and it's going to be picked off by Darren Robinson. Robinson's going down the field, and he weaves around a defender, and he's going up near the 30, and he's brought down. How about Darren Robinson? Talking about picking up the offense. The defense does just that. 3 plays later, Daniels, for some reason, just heaved that one up into double coverage, and Darren Robinson, who has quietly had a very good season in my opinion. He's had such a big improvement from his true freshman season last year. He sets up Illinois with the offense back up near the 30-yard line. Spann will keep it here, and Spann is going to dance down the field, and he is in! Touchdown Illini! I think it's safe to say that Deuce Spann made up for that fumble on the goal line. And how about that? Illinois gets the touchdown after all. They just took a much more difficult route to get there. What a job from Spann on the ground. He's got north of 50 yards rushing today. Daniels here on 2nd down and 12 is going to fire to a wide open Welsing. And Welsing breaks free. He's going down the sideline. And Beason gets him from behind. 61 yards. A lot of action and fireworks here in the first half, as Illinois was in zone coverage and Welsing was wide open down the field. Someone missed an assignment, and Welsing broke free. Beason missed the tackle, and you can see Beason with the hustle ended up making the tackle after all. So an explosive start to the game, to say the least. Northwestern now in the red zone, gives it to Cam Porter. And Porter will go up for 7 yards. We're approaching 3 minutes left now in the first half. 2nd down and 3 from the 9-yard line. Daniels keeps it here on the option, and he breaks a tackle, and he is stumbling and fighting his way towards the goal line. That goes for 6 yards. Marcus Daniels showing some grit on the ground. 1st and goal now here from the 3-yard line. Northwestern threatening to tie this game up, but Patrick Coleman flies to the outside and stops Daniels. Nice play there from Patrick Coleman. And it's 2nd down and goal now. Illinois now looking to stop Northwestern, but Porter has a wide open hole up the middle, and that's an easy walk-in touchdown. Once again, Illinois wasn't quite set, and I don't know what happened there, but Northwestern punches it in, and they have tied this game. 2 minutes to go here in the first half, and Northwestern just seems to be that pesky gnat that just won't go away for Illinois. And they really need to tighten up here, as that's not exactly what you want at all, as Deuce Spann takes a sack, and that's an 11-yard loss here on the ensuing drive. 2nd down and 21 now for Illinois. The clock is running here. And Spann will look to throw, and he fires to Frenchie, who's wide open over the middle, and Frenchie picks up a block, and he's got room downfield. Frenchie's going down the sideline. He's got one man to beat. He puts down a stiff arm, and he is brought down inside the 5. 76 yards, Spann to Frenchie. What a play, just when Illinois needed it most. Perfect block from Patrick Bryant, and that opened up the entire left side of the field for Frenchie. And Frenchie put down a stiff arm, fought for those extra yards, and it took a host of Northwestern Wildcats to bring him down. And that's exactly what Illinois needed, some explosiveness offensively. Now we're approaching a minute to go here. Spann on play action is going to try to set up a screen, and it's incomplete. Northwestern swallowed that one up quickly. And man, the play action has just not fared well for Illinois this afternoon. 2nd and goal now. They do a misdirection handoff to Hayden, and he is in. Touchdown Illini. That's old reliable. And Chase Hayden, the senior tailback, does get a touchdown in his final game at Memorial Stadium. One of many touchdowns on the ground for Chase Hayden in his career as an Illini. And with that quick score, Northwestern gets the ball here with 56 seconds and counting. And Harper gets that ball quickly over the middle, and Northwestern still does have its 3 timeouts. They have an opportunity to put some points on the board here. But Daniels is going to be laid out. That was Seth Coleman. Seth Coleman, the senior, gets a sack. And Illinois calls a timeout, actually. So now it's 3rd down and 14. They're just going to do a handoff to Porter, and he is stuffed. Illinois calls its final timeout. And there's still 36 seconds to go here in the half, and Coach Deal wants the ball back. Coach Deal wants to put points on the board here. Cumbie is going to take the punt return, and be nice if Cumbie could have picked up a block there, as now we have 30 seconds to go here. Illinois still is starting with good field position here from the 41-yard line. Spann looking to throw. He's going to roll out to his left, and he hesitates, and he fires it out to Rogers in the open, but Rogers is brought down, and that goes for no gain. I think Spann should have just thrown that ball away, and now he has to bring the offense back to the line of scrimmage. 5 seconds and counting. Spann's just going to heave it downfield, looking for Campbell, and it's knocked down. Hurd with the great coverage, and there's still 1 second to go here. And it looks like Illinois will just send out the Hail Mary offense out on the field. Spann winding up to throw, and he's hit from behind. And it's incomplete. Deuce Spann visibly frustrated there. And I don't blame him. It has been not the prettiest of halves for Illinois, but they still have the lead in this game, 21-14 on Northwestern. A half full of fireworks, to say the least. And looking at the stats here, probably it's some of the most misleading numbers if you really look at it, because Illinois with 90 passing yards, but 76 of those 90 yards came from that one play to James Frenchie Jr. right before the half. Same for Northwestern. A lot of their passing yards have come in huge chunk plays. Both teams turned the ball over once, and both teams kind of playing a little bit sloppy, especially Illinois, especially with the stakes that are on the line here. Illinois cannot afford to hang around here with Northwestern. This is a team that's 2-8 on the season, and Illinois has a Big Ten championship appearance that they need to make sure that they clinch this afternoon. 3rd down and 4 here, as Hayden will get the ball once again on this drive to open the half, and he gets stuffed. Brandon Joseph came flying in unblocked and stuffs Hayden in the backfield. And Illinois is going to have to punt it away, a 3-and-out to open up the half. Dennis Jr. will get the punt return for Northwestern, and he breaks a tackle, and he's brought down by Dylan Rosaic at the 45. Just like that, Northwestern gets the ball with great starting field position. And they have a chance to potentially tie this game back up. It's going to be Cam Porter out of the Wildcat. He gets the outside and picks up 9 yards. Cam Porter showing some good running skills there. Daniels is going to drop back from under center here on 2nd down and 1. And he gets sacked as he tries to fire it downfield. That was Calvin Hart. What a play from Hart. And it's 3rd down and 7. Daniels sends the tight end outside. He's going to look to throw once again, and Daniels is going to fire it wildly across the field, and it's incomplete. That one sails out of bounds. And Illinois forces a stop. Northwestern's going to punt that ball away. And Kyron Cumbie is going to get a block this time, and he bounces to the outside. And oh, the cutback, and he's dancing downfield. 20 yards for Kyron Cumbie. What a move from Cumbie. The stutter step. And he picks up a fancy 20 yards there. Kyron Cumbie already making a huge impression in special teams this afternoon. 1st down and 10 as Spann brings the offense inside. Hayden will get the handoff. And nicely done there. That's 11 yards and a 1st down. Hayden with 44 yards on the ground so far in this game. Fresh set of downs now for Illinois. Spann is looking to his left. And Spann is buying some time. He's got a man wide open downfield. It's to Laven Campbell. And Campbell is gone. Touchdown, Illinois. 56 yards. The senior receiver hauls it in. The explosive plays keep piling up. Deuce Spann buying tons of time, and DeLavin Campbell blew past the Northwestern defense, who was caught napping there, and Spann hits him downfield. How about that? That's what Coach Deal wanted to see this afternoon. Cam Porter now on the ensuing drive is going to get a 9-yard gain, and Illinois now has a chance to pull away in this game. The defense looking to shore up some poor tackling that they had in the first half and keep Northwestern at bay here as Porter gets the ball, and that's going to be a first down. Porter only with 32 yards on the ground. That's kind of what we expected here with a one-dimensional offense like that against Illinois. It's plays like that from Keith Randolph who just wrap up and throw Evan Hull to the ground. It's really tough to run the ball on this Illini defense. And Northwestern here is trying not to get stuck in the mud. 3rd down and 8 for Northwestern. Daniels backs up, and he's going to be sacked again. This time it's Keith Randolph. Back-to-back plays for Randolph, and he gets a sack in his final game at Memorial Stadium. I say it every year. The seniors always show out in bowl games or on senior day. And Seth Coleman and Keith Randolph, both of the defensive ends for Illinois, have sacks here in their final games at Memorial Stadium. 23 yards there for Cumbie on the punt return. He sets up Illinois with great field position once again. 2nd down and 7 now as we jump ahead here for the offense. And Spann looking to throw. He fires over the middle to Cumbie, and a nice spin move as Cumbie picks up the first down. What a performance Cumbie has put on this afternoon, offensively and in special teams, and he certainly is showing out here. 2nd down and 14 now as we jump ahead of play. Illinois is looking to really blow the doors off this game and take a commanding lead over their rivals. Hayden will get the dump off, but that only goes for 1 yard, so now Illinois is in a 3rd and 13 situation. They're not quite in field goal range just yet, so we'll see how Illinois plays this. Spann will look to throw again. He's backing up, and he's going to loft it downfield looking for Frenchie, and it's incomplete. Frenchie almost had that one. That was a catchable ball, and Illinois now is going to go for it here at 4th down and 13. As I just said, they're not quite in field goal range, so Illinois is going to try to get the first down. Spann rolling to his right, and Spann is going to fire it across the field at the last second, and it's picked off. That's Sanders, and Sanders brings it up to the 30. And that basically was just a turnover on downs, as Spann didn't really have anywhere to go with the football there and just heaved it across the field at the last second. Northwestern now with another opportunity as they get it on 2nd down and 10 on this ensuing drive. That goes to Tim White, and now it's 3rd down and 1. Daniels from under center gives it to Porter, and Porter is going to be brought down from behind. Cornelius Taylor came flying in, and Darren Robinson helped him with that stop. The 2 sophomore Illini safeties ganging up for that play. Nicely done. And the defense, as safe to say, has tightened things up here in the 3rd quarter. Northwestern has failed to do much at all. Kyron Cumbie on the punt return is going to cut it back to the left side of the field, and Cumbie is across the 50. He's past the 40, and he's brought down at the 36. 40 yards on that punt return. Man, what a show Cumbie is putting on this afternoon. 6 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Spann is going to look to keep it, and the ball comes free. It's recovered by Coleman. Are you kidding me? Another fumble from Illinois, and they turn it over again. Deuce Spann with another fumble. And Illinois just cannot seem to break away here and shut the door on Northwestern, as the Wildcats are still hanging around in this game. There's still a 14-point deficit, and they keep handing off to Hull, and that goes for no gain. 3rd down and 9 here as the defense looks to continue in the 2nd half. That's going to be a pass play to White on 3rd down, and that's a nice catch. And that'll go for a first down. So now Northwestern's across midfield for the first time in the second half. It's going to be a play action, and Daniels fires over the middle to White, and White's brought down by Robinson. Another first down. Marcus Daniels certainly having a better performance today than his stats on the season have showed. And that's not a surprise, especially after what we saw from him last season. He tries to scramble out of the pocket this time, but now it's going to be 3rd down and 7. And if you're a Northwestern here, we're early in the 4th quarter, but they need to get into the end zone. They can't really afford field goals. They set up a screen for Porter, and Patrick Coleman can't make the tackle, and Porter is fighting his way and picks up the first down. Another missed tackle there, and now Northwestern has it at the 15-yard line. 2nd down and 12 as we jump ahead of play. And Daniels fires it into coverage, and it's right into the hands of Bryce Barnes, but he drops it. That would have been a huge turnover there. Nonetheless, it's 3rd down and 12 now. The defense still has a chance to get a stop here. Daniels will look to throw, and he's buying some time, and he's going to be brought down. I don't know if he tripped over his own lineman, but it's 4th down and 17. And Northwestern's going to send out the field goal unit here. That ball is up and good, and that cuts the lead down to 11, but field goals is not what you need if you're trying to come back in this game. And Illinois will take it, and they kick the ball off to Illinois. Interesting moves there, as look who's in at quarterback. That's number 1, Isaiah Williams. He gives it to Hayden, and Isaiah Williams is in the game at quarterback. Coach Steele making the move here. And Isaiah Williams, as we all know, he had the starting quarterback job ripped for him in Week 6 against Michigan State after some poor performances earlier on in the season. And Deuce Spann, safe to say, took that job from him and has had a grip hold on it as Chase Hayden gets the first down and moves the chains. And Coach David Deal is giving Isaiah, the senior quarterback, a chance to end this game on senior day and send Illinois to the Big Ten championship game. Northwestern will call a timeout as Hayden picks up a first down. Isaiah Williams, the starting quarterback in this series for the first 2.5 seasons, dumps it off to Reggie Love, and Reggie Love will pick up a first down. Timeout Northwestern. One more first down, and that'll ice this game. He's going to give it to Hayden, and Hayden will dance around, and he goes up for 7 yards, and Northwestern will call its final timeout. So now one more first down will end this game. 2nd down and 3. Isaiah is going to keep it himself, and Isaiah Williams crosses the marker. That's a first down, and Illinois is going to the Big Ten championship game. The final kneel down. Chase Hayden, Keith Randolph, Marquez Beason, Shaman Cooper, all the Illini seniors, headed by Isaiah Williams, will kneel it down, and Illinois sends off their seniors with a victory in Week 12 and is going to the Big Ten championship game. How about this team, and how about this Illini program? Illinois wins the Land of Lincoln Trophy for the 3rd straight season. They have gone through one of the toughest divisions in college football, and they sit atop the Big Ten West, and they will face either Michigan or Penn State in the Big Ten championship game. Isaiah Williams got the opportunity from his head coach to lead his offense down the field on the final drive and ice this game, and he got it done. The rivals from up north go out with a dreadful 2-9 season as Kyron Cumbie wins player of the game. He put on a clinic today offensively and in special teams, and things are really looking good right now in Champaign. The final stats: Deuce Spann, 8 of 16, 155 yards. He got a touchdown pass. He also made a handful of mistakes, especially with those fumbles. Not the cleanest of games from Deuce Spann, but he still had a decent day. Isaiah Williams, 1 for 1, but Isaiah Williams led that game-winning drive to ice it in the 4th quarter. I think that was a very good move by Coach Steele to show his seniors some love, as after all, he was the starting quarterback for the first 2.5 seasons. and this was his team. As far as the rushing stats, Chase Hayden goes 16 for 72 and a touchdown. His final game at Memorial Stadium, he gets in the end zone. Deuce Spann as well, if you omit those fumbles, Deuce Spann 9 of 51 and a touchdown on the ground. One of those plays was a very good play there from Spann. Kyron Cumby, 3 of 14. He had some nice catches this afternoon. Chase Hayden, 2 of 9. Campbell with that huge touchdown reception. Another senior who got a touchdown on senior day as well. Not a whole lot in the passing game from Illinois. A huge couple explosive plays to Campbell and Frenchie. Marcus Daniels was 11 of 16. Threw for 185 yards. No touchdown passes. He did throw an interception, and while he wasn't that great, he definitely did a lot better than his stats suggest that he's done on the season as a whole. And I don't know what it is about this guy, but he seems to play his best against Illinois. And Cam Porter averaging almost over 120 yards per game on the ground. He was held to just 33 yards. He did get into the end zone. As far as the receiving goes, Tim White was the leading receiver with 3 for 44. As far as defensively, how about Darren Robinson? He got an interception, and he also led the team in tackles. He has played a very good, especially down the stretch this season. Seth Coleman, the senior defensive end, he got a sack in his final game at Memorial Stadium. Marquez Beason, another senior with lockdown coverage per usual. Moses Okpala had a sack as well. A handful of big playmakers for this Illini defense made plays this afternoon, especially the seniors. Keith Randolph as well, another defensive end for Illinois that we will certainly miss next season. Kyron Cumby, again, another senior. How about the day he had in special teams? 143 yards and a touchdown in kickoff returns, and then 82 yards on punt returns. What a day for him. As far as the final stats, Illinois edged out Northwestern in first downs rushing. Northwestern did have a few more explosive pass plays. Illinois certainly needs to clean up the turnovers. That really is what kept Northwestern sort of in this game, even though Illinois had control over it for the most part. Players of the game, of course, Kyron Cumby, Darren Robinson defensively, and then Cam Porter offensively for Northwestern. How about some recruiting news here before we reveal the Illinois' opponent in the Big Ten championship game? Joel Sherman, Brandon Hawkins, and Marvin Pugh, they all commit. They were all impressed from what they saw this afternoon. And Wesley Lynch, another talented corner, commits to Illinois. So now they have a very good tandem of cornerbacks committed. Joel Sherman, the athlete, the 4-star out of Michigan. He can play either wide receiver or cornerback. We'll see what Illinois does with him. But he visited this afternoon and he committed. Brandon Hawkins, he's been solid for Illinois all season long. He commits as a wide receiver, and then Marvin Pugh as well. Even Illinois is loading up on receivers in this class, and they will certainly transform that position here moving forward in this dynasty with the job that they have done on the recruiting trail. And then Wesley Lynch, as I just mentioned, a 3-star gem prospect. Illinois was able to pry him out of his home state of Virginia. They beat out the Cavaliers for him, and he's coming out west to Illinois. And him and Mike Wise make a great pair of cornerbacks that committed to this team. As far as the top 25 polls here as the regular season comes to a close, Notre Dame and Clemson finished 12-0. Tennessee, A&M, Washington, Wisconsin is number 6, and there's Illinois at number 7. Illinois, of course, the highest ranked 2-loss team in the country. And taking a look here at the final scores, Michigan beat Ohio State, but Penn State beat Indiana in the final week of the regular season, and Penn State clinches the Big Ten East, and they will be going to the Big Ten championship game to face our Illini. 10-2 overall, 8-1. Both of those are career highs for Coach Deal and high points and wins in this dynasty here in Season 3. Illinois wins the Big Ten West that was loaded, especially at the top this season. A very impressive accomplishment for the Illini. And then Penn State finishes 9-3 and 7-2 over there in the East, and they edge out Michigan. And we will be having a rematch in the Big Ten championship game. There are the conference championships. Of course, the rematch in the Big Ten. TCU and Kansas State will be facing off in the Big 12 championship in the new look Big 12 this season after conference realignment. Texas A&M and Tennessee, number 4 versus number 3 in the SEC championship. This is a conference that, of course, is stacked, especially after Oklahoma and Texas moved over there. And number 4 and number 3 will battle for the right to potentially play in the national championship. In the ACC, number 12 Pitt will face off against Clemson, who is one of 2 undefeated teams remaining in college football. And then UCLA and Washington in the Pac-12. Washington is ranked number 5, and this game is kind of important to keep an eye on because the winner of this game could potentially face the winner of the Big Ten championship game in the Rose Bowl. And we have made it, guys. The Big Ten championship game is the next game on the docket. This was the goal in Season 1, Season 2, and here in Season 3 to make it to the Big Ten championship game. Last year in Season 2, Illinois was really close. They were 1 win away from potentially getting here. And this year they got it done. And the number 7 Illini will face off against Penn State, who is now number 11 on the season. Penn State comes in this game 9-3. They finished 7-2 in conference play. And since that game that these two played earlier on in the season in Week 6, Penn State has gotten a little bit better. They boast a impressive rushing offense, a very talented defense with a ton of talented players, a lot of NFL guys on that defense. You can see Micah Bowens, who really impressed me in that game earlier on in the season. He's had a very good year, an impressive 17-3 touchdown to interception ratio. Keziah Holmes has rushed for over 1,000 yards on the season. And taking a look here at Penn State's schedule, since that game against Illinois in Week 6, they have finished the regular season 5-1 against the Big Ten East. And outside of a loss against Michigan in the Big House, Penn State, fair to say, they have easily handled the competition there in the East. And they have improved slightly over the course of the season. And taking a look here at Penn State's roster, Curtis Jacobs, of course, who had a very good game against us. He is one of their best players. Keziah Holmes, Enzo Jennings, Joey Porter Jr., a lot of these guys, especially the playmakers on defense, really gave Illinois a ton of trouble. Keandre Lambert-Smith also had a big day against Illinois. And Micah Bowens, the junior quarterback, he is really sort of molded well into this Penn State offense, and they gave Illinois some trouble earlier on in the season. This is one of the few teams that I think really put the pedal to the metal against this stout Illini defense that is top 2 in the country. And you can see Penn State really bullied Illinois, especially in the second half there. Penn State pulled away and Illinois just couldn't come back. Isaiah Williams was the quarterback at the time, and he had a very bad game. He threw 3 interceptions. And this was really one of the final straws that led to Coach Steele pulling him for deuce man towards the middle of the season. Keziah Holmes rushed for 163 yards on this Illini defense. And I don't know if a lot of you guys remember that. I went back and watched this game, but what really stood out to me is that Penn State was one of the few teams this entire season that really bullied Illinois on the ground offensively and really took it to this Illini defense. And a lot of teams really struggled to run the ball against this Illinois defense, but Penn State was able to do it. And Keziah Holmes really impressed me. If you want my honest opinion, I think he is the best running back in the Big Ten. And outside of that Missouri loss, where I think Illinois, that was sort of a fluky loss, I think Penn State was the only team this entire season that really outplayed Illinois from start to finish. And they got a ton of athletes on this team, a lot of guys that are going to be going to the NFL. So Penn State's done a good job on the recruiting trail. They just have very good talents. They have a size advantage over Illinois in most positional areas. And the only difference, though, that should give Illini fans a bit of hope in this championship game is that Isaiah Williams was the quarterback at the time, and Penn State has not seen Deuce Spann. They have not seen the latest iteration of this Illini offense with Spann at quarterback, and we shall see how Penn State reacts to that. Of course, Curtis Jacobs put on a clinic against Illinois. He really took out the read option and a lot of the things that Isaiah Williams wanted to do on the ground. And this secondary for Penn State, Enzo Jennings, Joey Porter Jr., and those guys, they really shut down the passing attack, and that's what led to Isaiah throwing 3 interceptions. So it's safe to say that Illinois offensively will have to be on its game in Indianapolis. They needed to be on their game against Wisconsin, who was statistically the #1 defense in the country, and that's exactly what they did. Deuce Spann and the guys had a very good game. And then defensively for Illinois, As I mentioned earlier, Penn State was able to run the ball very well on this Illini defense. And so if Illinois can shut that down and limit Keziah Holmes, I think they have a decent shot here, but we shall see. I'm very excited about this. Those of you who have watched this dynasty from season 1, we've been fairly successful in all 3 seasons here, but this was a huge rung up the ladder that we just climbed, and we made it here to the Big Ten championship game. These guys will have a chance to win a Big Ten championship. This team is talented enough to do it, and with this defense that Illinois has, I think they can keep Illinois in any game, and I think Illinois has a good chance to avenge their loss against Penn State and potentially go to the Rose Bowl if they can win the Big Ten. I hope you guys are ready for it. That'll be the next game up on the docket, and I'll see you guys then.